Hey there, folks. So, something kind of unfortunate has happened this week. I honestly kind of debated whether I really wanted to make a video about it, just because it's definitely a departure from the generally positive and optimistic tone that I want to have on this channel. But at the same time, what ultimately convinced me to do so was when I started this channel, I made a commitment to myself that I wasn't just going to show like my peak moments of my reselling journey, that I was going to be honest about both the highs and the lows. I don't want this channel to just be my highlight reel. I want to be real with you guys. So decided to share this kind of unfortunate thing that happened this week, and it's nothing like super serious. No one is hurt, no one's sick, so if you are at all worried at this point, I appreciate it, but you can relax a little bit. And ultimately, I just firmly believe that when we share parts of our lives and ourselves that sometimes feel uncomfortable, that more often than not a lot of good comes of it. So with that said, basically what happened this week is, the good side is I hired somebody to list for me on eBay, which is a really good thing. You guys know I have been talking for a little bit about just wanting to scale and delegate some of my responsibility, as I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed with all the different aspects of the business and the channel that I've been trying to juggle at once. So he came over, got him trained, he was feeling pretty confident, and also bought a separate photo studio and everything, and got him a bunch of inventory so that he could take it back to where he is and just list stuff on his own time. So really good arrangement. We were both very happy about it, feeling confident about it. But soon after he did take that inventory back with him to list on his own, his car got broken into. And so there was about around $1,000 in value of inventory that ended up getting stolen from that car. And honestly, what I felt worse about than anything was just that he had to go through that. Just putting myself in his shoes, I know that I would be pretty horrified and just feel really bad about it. So yeah, honestly, stolen stuff, no fun at all. I actually had 3 different bikes stolen from me in college. So unfortunately, it's not my first experience with theft, but this was definitely the highest value lost. So definitely felt like a bit of a blow this week. And honestly, part of the other reason that I was hesitant to make this video and talk about this is I don't want to, I know that there are a lot of folks out there that are going through much harder things. People have gotten sick, people have had family members that have gotten sick and also even passed away. And so, I don't in any way want to compare this to the much more serious things that a lot of other people in the community are going through. And ultimately, I'm really grateful too that in the grand scheme of things that can go wrong, ultimately, this is a pretty tame mishap. But in the end, I did really want to share this story because, especially for us in the resale community, when you own your own business, and especially when it's just you, you really feel even smaller setbacks like this. But another part of what I wanted to share about this whole experience was a moment that I honestly was pretty proud of. I think early in my career, maybe partly because I had less capital and that $1,000 would feel like a lot more of a gut punch, but I think also because of ways that I have grown and how I view my business. Earlier on, I probably would have taken this loss a lot harder, but when I did get the news that this had happened, it really was only a few moments before I was able to recognize okay, ultimately this is just stuff, everybody in this situation is fine, people's health is all good. One thing that I've been thinking a lot about recently is you can always make more money, to me, especially with a minor setback like this, money just is not really something that's worth grieving over, even if it was a larger amount and I had lost a few thousand or even $10,000, it's one thing to lose your job, to grieve your livelihood and a certain lifestyle. But I think I was able to recognize, in this instance at least, certainly not always, that in the grand scheme of things, this loss is really just insignificant, and just feel genuine gratitude for the place I am in life, that like I'm not entirely financially dependent on that. Now, the hopeful news in this whole situation is that even though that inventory itself was not insured, there was a car insurance policy involved, which may or may not have some sort of provision for stolen goods. So there's definitely some hope that I will at least get some of that value back. But ultimately, even if I don't see a dime of that stolen inventory back in my pocket, I can genuinely say that I am at peace with it. A lot of my perspective, I think, in situations like these comes from my faith as well. I love Jesus, and I believe really firmly in the power of redemption, that like really genuinely good things can come out of broken people and situations. So that gives me a lot of hope as well. And I think in the end, my biggest hope is that this video itself would serve as a small way of bringing some of that good about. But anyways, I did want to say a really big thank you to you guys. If you clicked on this video, it probably means you have some level of like care or compassion for me and my business and what I'm going through. And so wanted to say a heartfelt thank you for coming along with me on the ups and downs of my resale journey. It really does just mean a ton. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for walking with me. Thanks for caring. And I will catch you guys on the flip.